So, after yesterday's episode, it's apparent that we're getting uh, Halloween fatigue. So,
That's what did us in. It was
That's
Madagascar
what it
escape to
was.
Africa.
but don't worry, we're halfway through now. Just got that. We need to get our second wind, and we'll be back in it. It's such a sad cold open, isn't it?
Three broken men who've seen too many Halloween movies.
In so many Halloween movies.
I
I feel like
I have genuinely seen more horror films in the last 16 days than my entire life up until that point. And that is a true fact.
I feel like a broken man in a broken marriage when like he sees someone. I see a horror movie and I'm like, oh, that looks fun to watch. I'd love to spend time with that movie. And I'm like, oh, it's not on the list, is it?
Anyway, let's get into this. #Alive 2020. The rapid spread of an unknown infection has left an entire city in ungovernable chaos, but one survivor remains alive in
It's a
isolation.
documentary.
Let me read.
I'm sorry. It seemed apt.
It is his story. That's all I had to say.
I definitely have some issues with it. We kind of talked about this before. I think the big word I would put into it is derivative. I've seen my fair share of zombie movies at this point, and like it borrows pretty heavily even from movies on this list, and certainly other movies I've seen. I think the score is one of the most distractingly bad scores I've heard in a long time. It's super cliche, and it feels like stock music, not in a good way. Like, you could literally take, besides one or two, you could take any one of those songs and put them in a different part of the movie, and it would not matter. There's just, like, general suspense music, general sad music. I don't watch zombie movies for blood and gore, but there was a strange lack of blood, I feel like, and it felt distracting. And I don't know why, because this movie's rated R. But there was more blood in, like, World War Z, which was PG-13. And I felt like whenever a zombie got hit or a bite happened or something, there was no blood spray whatsoever. Like, it felt like there was no impact for it, which was a little weird. I thought it did some fun things. The characters are very well acted. They're likable. The main character is particularly likable. I like that they allow him to be emotionally vulnerable and react organically to things. I think that's pretty cool, and I think it's cool seeing the two main characters' relationship form. I actually enjoyed the ending. I didn't think I would, but it kind of gives a little bit more weight to the whole idea of #alive and social media and all that. Like, I thought it was a little bit saccharine, but I enjoyed it. It was largely, I don't know, it was pretty predictable, but it was fine enough.
I would kind of agree with the general assessment. It was just fine. I liked the zombies in this a lot. Just the idea of having zombies that are a little more intelligent and quicker and more cooperative with each other. That was, I thought, really well done. And it gave them a little bit more of a threatening presence than other zombie movies, where they just are a little slower and stuff. And it did that without making it like World War Z, where they were just cartoonish. They were actually pretty genuinely interesting, terrifying zombies. I felt like, yeah, I like the two main characters well enough. I felt like it just seemed a little unrealistic, particularly the main character, how well he was still doing, given that he'd had like no food or water for 20 days by the end of it. It seemed a little unrealistic to me that he still was as put together as he was. In general, though, is a nice story. I like kind of the cute back and forth between him and the girl. Yeah, it was fine. I enjoyed it.
I probably, out of the three of us, liked it the most. I enjoyed it a good bit. I thought it was entertaining. I did like the fact that they established that these zombies were able to recall like muscle memory how to do specific things. I thought that was like interesting. I thought it was definitely well acted between the two leads. I think they had pretty good chemistry, and I liked especially the scenes where they first interact together, where she's like talking with him on the wall. I thought that that was a really well done scene. I feel like it is somewhat of a mixed bag in a way where like there are things that you could appreciate about it, but there are some things that are more cliche. I think that it is fun enough to enjoy once.
I went in apprehensive about the title, but I feel like the social media was never pushed too far. Like, I feel like there was never a point where, like, they stopped the story for it. And, like, I thought the ending was kind of a cool way of showing that all these individual stories were happening at the same time. And, like, it did it in a way that didn't even really involve making another scene. It was just an overlay into a pre-existing scene that would have happened already. And, like, I think that scene is better off for having had these pictures of people that made it through and are and, like, using social media to unite and handle an experience like that together, which is like something people are dealing with a lot right now, of like experiencing isolation and experiencing their own individual struggles and sharing that they made it out alive and like that they've survived. I definitely have seen technology used in way cringier ways in a movie as a gimmick.
I'm so sorry, but I have to ask you, truth or dare?
I don't know. I feel like it's fair to compare this to When the Night's the World, or The Night's the World. And I don't know if there's really anything I got from this that I didn't get better from The Night's the World. It doesn't really handle mental health issues the same way. You don't really see that sort of relationship with zombies like you had in Night's the World and all that. But by and large, I felt like I didn't gain a whole lot from seeing this. I would recommend Night is the World over this. I'll say that much.
She died like everyone else. With everyone else. Like you.
I will say now, thinking back, I do remember not liking the music and thinking that it was like a really generic.
I honestly did not even remember the music, which probably plays into your point.
I remember several times being distracted and listening to the music. I'm like, wait a minute, like, this sounds super generic. I was like, nothing really, it doesn't sound like this was designed for this. It sounds like, you know what they do with Marvel music? How
The
they
temp
bring
music.
in music.
Temp music is when you're editing a film and you take music from another movie and use it temporarily in your cut.
It feels like they did that with this. And I feel like, honestly, it would have been better suited. I would have enjoyed those scenes more if it was just silent. Like 90s The World.
Yeah, I would probably not recommend this movie. I mean, unless you're just like in the mood for a pretty mindless zombie movie you can just put on and kind of enjoy. But in terms of like, if you really just want to watch like a good movie or a solid movie or something you can dig your teeth into, then yeah, watch Night Eats the World.
Mine are not going to have as many zombie puns as Nathaniel did. But I'd probably agree with Nathaniel. I probably wouldn't recommend this. And that's not to say it's a bad movie. I just think it's an okay movie. Of the 31 movies we're reviewing this month, there are certainly better choices on this list. There's certainly multiple better zombie movies on this list. So
better zombie movies with the same premise on this list.
There are better isolation-centric zombie movies in which the protagonist is a male who never tries to leave his building until he encounters a woman who inspires him to leave it and seek a better life. There are better movies from that genre.
Okay, it definitely lands on like the 5 or 6 scale. I would say overall, like looking back on it, it's fun enough to like maybe watch once and enjoy. And if you hadn't seen Night Eats the World, yeah, you would like probably enjoy this more. But yeah, I would have to suggest Night Eats the World over this because, as Michael pointed out, it's almost same beats. I think there are some things to appreciate about it. I think the design for some of the zombies are pretty cool. Like one of them actually reminded me of the clickers from Last of Us, which was like the blind zombie. But overall, yeah, I thought it was all right. That was pretty good. Next up, we got Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
What of the what? The what snatchers?
Invasion of the Body Snatchers of the 70s variety. We're going to be talking about that next, okay? Please like and subscribe. It's something I don't mention at the end of these episodes because I keep forgetting. Anyway, talk to you guys later.
Wait,
Bye.
what's next?
Invasion of what? Like and what?
Just leave me be.